on the way to a meeting and started getting texts that first made no sense. Like, is it true? Is what true? I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry for your loss. And at that point, that's where we realized, okay, people must be talking about Prince. And my wife actually Googled to find out what was going on. And that's how we found out. We found out, surfing the web in a car on I-40.
And what was when you, obviously, if he's a close friend of yours,
Mm-hmm.
what was your reaction when you heard it was true? I mean, there were some hoaxes that had come out,
Mm-hmm.
years ago, but when you actually read it and knew it was true.
Yeah. I don't know that I have a handle on it yet, because it's the way it unfolded was so surreal, because life was happening, and in the middle of life happening, something extraordinary happened, and in the middle of a meeting in my middle son's school, my phone is blowing up with all this new information and people contacting. And so it's been nonstop since that moment on the freeway when we found out. And I don't think I have my mind around it yet.
But to have that conversation 3 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
it has to be one of those kind of earth-shattering, like makes you step back and think.
Yeah. The one other thing it reminded me of, the week that we first moved down here in 1990, there was a good friend, mutual friend, a guy named Big Chick Huntsberry, who was Prince's bodyguard. Initially, he was the band's bodyguard, but he became Prince's personal security guy. And Chick and I were real good friends, very close. Well, the first night that we were here after moving here, had a long, like a 2-hour conversation with Chick. The next night, I heard that he had lapsed into a coma, and the next day passed away. So it was a very similar thing. Had a conversation with a good friend that I hadn't talked to in a while, having no idea that in a few days he'd be gone.
And what was it like when you were working with him, rehearsals for his tours? I mean, he was
Mm-hmm.
always dressed so well. His sets always were so
Mm-hmm.
elaborate. I mean, how particular was he?
That developed over time. It wasn't that way in the beginning. And that was something that he was encouraged in by other people. One of the traits that he had is he would always surpass his tutors. He would learn things from other people and master them and own them himself. So those are a couple of those things that he mastered that, at first were things that he had to learn.
And as a musician, as a virtuoso, as you described him, was he really particular about how something sounded or how things meshed together as a musician?
Absolutely. Definitely about this thing called the pocket. The pocket is this place where the groove sits in the rhythm. And if the pocket is not right, he would not be satisfied. So we would spend literally hours just playing grooves over and over and over again until things sat perfectly in the pocket.
Knowing that, is it shocking to you, again, that it only took you about an hour and a half to be a part of 2 of his biggest hits?
Yeah, it's funny because there's that weird kind of polarity of, on the one hand, he would obsess over, a 6-second musical moment. But then again, he always had this sense too of, no, that's it. Don't mess with it. Don't change it. We're not going to overdub it. We're not going to redo it. That's it. So it was kind of both and.
And this is kind of a cheap question to ask, but what do you think he leaves behind? I mean, is there a way to kind of put into words what music lost today?
I don't know that there is right now. I think we'll know as we go along. It's one of those things that sometimes you don't recognize the value of something until that thing is gone. And in this case, it's not a thing, it's a person. But I think it's something that's going to unfold over time.
But things really will never be the same in terms of hearing his music.
No, that is a space that's a chair no one else is going to be able to sit in, for sure.
And lastly, kind of on a happier note, what was your favorite memory? Do you have a favorite memory with him, or like a favorite time period with you guys?
Absolutely. Well, the early years were just, I've never laughed as much in my life as I did when I was in that band until the last year. Then it got real serious. That was why I had to bolt. But There was one memory in particular. We had a planned and orchestrated food fight at the end of what was the 1999 tour, which actually took place in 1983, but nonetheless, in Cincinnati. What was it, Riverfront Arena? The arena. And it was like grown people having the chance to indulge in every kid's fantasy of being able to have the epic. I think we did like, $20,000 worth of damage or something. Fully expected, though. we were ready. Somebody was ready to write the check to pay for it. And that's the moment I remember. I remember seeing the glee on his face, that sort of Dennis the Menace like glee, running around throwing, water balloons filled with syrup on people and just crazy stuff like that.
You got to throw it on him too.
Oh yeah, no, it was between us and the Time, who were on the tour with us as the special guests on the tour. So it was the tension of the tour released in one night. It was awesome.
That's interesting because you look at him, in later life, and he was this, like I said, well put together, mysterious kind of a guy. But in the early days, the polar opposite.
Absolutely. He learned to cultivate that image, but who he was in private, when he would let himself be that, was a very different person.
And lastly, he always seemed to just do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
He never is it fair to say that he never really let trends in music affect his own music?
Very true. Very true. He knew that what and who he was the brand, even though we didn't use that term back then. So why become a cheap imitation of something else when you can be the enduring original that you are? So when trends came and went, he didn't go with them. He didn't chase them, which is what icons do. Icons don't chase trends. They create them and they embody them. So